All right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Q&A session for Camp Pura Vida for 2024. My name is Rebecca Bernard. I'm going to be giving you a quick introduction to Family Go Global, tell you a little bit more about what you can expect from Camp Pura Vida in 2024. Then we'll talk a little bit about the logistics of getting to Costa Rica and what you need to do to get your family there. And then I'll open it up for a Q&A. All right. So as I said, my name is Rebecca Bernard. I am the Chief Travel Officer here at Family Go Global. I am a mother of two, and I've traveled all around the world with my children. I'm a dual language educator by trade, and have been designing youth programs for the last 20 years. I'm a Bruin undergrad. Yay, go Bruins. And recently finished a master's at Harvard in education, looking at education equity between the US and Costa Rica. I'm Costa Rican, so that's part of the reason why we host camp in Costa Rica, because I love taking folks home. Family Go Global was really started with two kind of main principles in mind. Number one was purely selfish. Just because I had kids didn't mean I wanted to retire my passport. So I looked for places that we could visit and groups of travel groups that we could participate in that were that offered authentic cultural experiences, and I wasn't finding a lot. So I created it so that I could take my kids to different countries and have them engage with folks from around the world. The second part was, as a dual language educator and as someone who's founded two bilingual schools in Los Angeles, there were a lot of families in our community that wanted to have an immersive language experience with their children. So we started designing these excursions, these family-friendly trips to different places around the world so that we could really connect, engage with other cultures authentically, responsibly, and build community around the world. Y'all are here because you're interested in learning more about Camp Pura Vida. So Camp Pura Vida is a family vacation that's suitable for all ages, and often we have intergenerational families that travel. So the whole family travels to Costa Rica, and then the children are in a day camp from 9 to 3 p.m. with us. Kids the ages of 3 to 17 can participate. We are a bilingual project and place-based learning experience. And we're all experienced educators from both the US and Costa Rica. And then in the afternoons and in the evenings, there's some optional hangouts. You can hang out as much or as little as you want with the rest of the travel community. We'll be hosting 4 weeks of Camp Pura Vida this summer. And the first 2 weeks will be held in Arenal, which is up in the mountainous region in the center of the country near the volcano. And the second 2 weeks, the 15th through the 26th, are going to be held in Tamarindo, which is our flagship location down by the beach. To tell you a little bit more about each location, we are super excited to be launching a new partnership with the Institute for Collaborative Learning. They are a beautiful group of educators. It's not an actual day school, but they are the folks who actually train public school educators in Costa Rica in language instruction. And the Institute for Collaborative Learning is located in Chachagua, which is about 30 minutes outside of Arenal and La Fortuna area, which is kind of a very popular touristy area. But it really is a small rural community and it's beautiful. And these 2 weeks are going to be held between their private school location and Mary's Beautiful Farm, which has a river running through it, a beautiful rancho right next door to a chocolate making factory, which is really cool. Well, it's not a factory really, it's artisanal chocolate, but we're really excited. This location is ideal for folks who want to really have a authentic Costa Rican kind of tico vibe experience up in the mountains. Our flagship location is in Tamarindo, which is in the Guanacaste region. It's kind of like on the shoulder here of the country. And we are partnered with the Journey School of Costa Rica, which is a beautiful, beautiful school campus about 15 minutes from the beach. So who comes to Camp Pura Vida? Really families of all shapes and sizes. Sometimes we get grandparents that want to sponsor a trip for their grandkids to make some memories. Sometimes we get single parents that are, a little bit reticent to travel the world by themselves with their children, but feel more comfortable being in community and want to explore the world. We've had kids from all over the US, from New York to Florida to New Orleans and California, and a few from the UK as well. And then there's a group of students who will join us locally from Costa Rica as well. So to walk you through kind of the day-to-day of camp, um, we have an optional pickup option where we can come and pick up your child either in a van or in the bus and bring them to camp and drop off. So if you choose to not rent a car, this is an option for you. Um, Parents often ask, well, if they're at camp, what are we supposed to do? You can do whatever you want. It's your world. We have we have parents who are remote workers and they would be working as though they were at home, except they're by the pool with a piña colada in their computer. We have families that take advantage of adventure activities and do the things that they might not be able to do with little ones in tow, like river rafting or a day hike up at the waterfalls. We have parents that just chill, that just, lay in a hammock, take naps. The kids are really, really engaged, and there's always fun stuff to do in and around town and explore as well. So parents will also kind of meet up within the group and go try new things, tortilla making class or a chocolate tasting or, you know, a surf lesson. For your young people, they're with us from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. A breakfast snack and a lunch is included, and the food is really good. We can accommodate any type of allergies, mostly fresh fruits and empanadas or muffins in the morning, and then it's a hot tico lunch. It's rice and beans, and it's really delicious. All of the materials and field trips are included in their tuition, and we really do explore a wide array of topics. We are engaging with the Spanish language. They're learning about the flora and fauna of the environment around them. They're learning about the ocean, the volcanoes. At our beach location, they're taking a surfing lesson. We do a field trip out into the world to investigate whatever theme or topic we're exploring for the summer. And we do have a differentiated program for preschool, elementary, middle, and high school. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. But preschoolers have their own campus and their own little play yard, and they can engage, if they have older siblings, they can engage at lunchtime and recess, but really they kind of have their own little world and their own schedule. And the majority of kids that come to us are between the ages of 5 and 13. For our teens, for our 13-year-olds and above, it is more of a service learning experience where we give them an opportunity to really sink into what their interests are. So this is my daughter right here. She loves working with the babies. So for the last 2 years, she has assisted in the preschool program. Last summer, we had one that was a certified lifeguard. So he assisted with the aquatics team at the beach and at the pool. We've had those who are interested in art, and so they help the atelierista during specialist class. So they get to enjoy all of the wonderful things of camp, but they also get to show up in a more kind of service-oriented way and also engage with each other as teenagers. We are an inclusive environment, so diverse learners are welcome. They are fully integrated into the camp experience, and we've had students on the autistic spectrum. We've had students with mobility issues. We really can, we as experienced educators working in classrooms full time, we can accommodate most needs. We just ask that if your child has particular needs coming into the program, that you converse with us in advance so that we can be prepared to meet those needs. And also in the intake form, you can tell us a little bit more, even if it's just sensitivities to noise or new people. We're happy to do what we can to fully integrate them in the program. In terms of our bilingual exposure model, so our teachers are all bilingual, fully bilingual, and experienced in short format language instruction. We tend to kind of assess on Mondays campers' levels of proficiency. We've had in the past a lot of dual language learners join us, and then increasingly in the last couple of years, we have more students who don't have any Spanish but want to learn. So this is an experience that's okay for all levels of Spanish. We often do pod kids who have more Spanish language together so that they can be challenged more. We also have a pretty even 50-50 split in terms of our coursework. So the main project is going to be primarily conducted in English with some Spanish language vocabulary. Our field trips are immersive, and so they're going to be conducted in Spanish with support by the teacher and the assistant in terms of translating. And then our specialist classes are also offered in Spanish. So our Costa Rican culture and dance class, the cooking class, sports, art, all of those will have a degree of Spanish. They'll be Spanish dominant in terms of the language of instruction. In terms of safety protocols in COVID-19, all of our staff, our professional teachers, are background checked in the US or in Costa Rica. And Costa Rica really is social distancing at its finest. Most of our time is spent outdoors, and meal times are all had in open air environments as well. I know we're kind of like in and not really out of COVID with this current surge this winter, but we follow what is established by the CDC and the Costa Rican Ministry of Education since we're on formal school campuses. So if there's any guidelines that you must adhere to, we will announce those in advance. At this time, it is not required to be vaccinated to go into Costa Rica, and you don't need any special vaccines as well, like any other vaccines to travel to Costa Rica. We do have a mandatory insurance requirement that will cover your child in the case of any incidentals. And this is not just the like add $7 to your ticket purchase in case you lose your bags. It's travel medical insurance. If you have a policy on your family that you carry year round, I do because we travel so much, you just upload the certificate into the portal. And if not, we have a couple of vendors that we can recommend, and it's fairly affordable, $20 to $40 for the week. So what does camp look like after hours? Really, it looks like as whatever you want it to look like. If you're not joiners and you just want to spend time with your nuclear family, that's a-okay. What will inevitably happen is that, kids fall in love with each other during camp and they want to hang out and everybody ends up in the pool, especially for those families who are staying in some of our choice hotels. You'll all end up at the pool together or end up enjoying a sunset. We also have some more kind of formal suggested activities. We'll have like meetups. We have a parents' dinner one night. And like this corner picture, top corner, it was the annexation of Guanacaste Day Festival. So we all ended up in the plaza eating delicious food from different vendors, watching Baile Folklorico. So really you can join as much or as little as you want. The travel community is really cool. A bunch of families that really value, cultural experiences and responsible travel. So, yeah, there's also a slew of adventure activities. Costa Rica is kind of like the Disneyland of the outside. That's what we like to say. And from both locations, both Tamarindo and Arenal, you have access to really fun things like zip lining, canopy tours, river rafting, horseback riding, ATV, and those can all be arranged. We can help you to book those and arrange those through our travel concierge, Eco Getaways. So what do you get when you sign up for Camp Pura Vida? You get access to our robust travel guide, which basically tells you where to eat, what to see, what you might want to enjoy during the day as parents, etc. All the way down to where the grocery stores are, where the clinic is, etc. The lodging we have intentionally created an opportunity for that to be flexible. We do have hotels that we are offering, which would be the locations for the bus pickups. But if you wanted to rent a house or you wanted to use your points, all of that is possible. You get the summer day camp for the kids and then optional afternoon hangouts. And then one of our signature offerings is Parents Night Out. This is run on campus by a partner agency that we having the location, and they keep the kids for a fun movie night, popcorn, etc., while we enjoy a quiet, kid-free dinner out on the town. And then you've got tons of options in terms of optional weekend adventure activities as well. So if you're in, getting here is not hard. These are the steps that you would take to register for Camp Pura Vida. So you can come for 1 or 2 weeks. If you want to come for 1 week, most families come for 1 week. You can choose from any of the weeks and locations offered. If you want to come for 2 weeks, we would recommend that you register for week 2 in Arenal and week 3 in Tamarindo. All sessions have been designed curricularly to enjoyed 1 week at a time. So if you want a kind of distinct experience in multi-week, then we would recommend that you do the 2 different locations. That said, we have had families that have come for the whole month or the whole time, and we can often differentiate your child's experience simply by changing their pod because each pod has a different project. You would secure your child's spot with a $200 deposit, and then you can either make monthly payments or you can pay in full, and tuition is $14.95. We do have a multi-week and a sibling discount of 5%, and that is automatically applied when you check out in the system. Once you have registered for camp, you will get access to our Circle community, which is our online travel planning guide. It gives you all the information you need, what airport to fly into, whether or not you want to rent a car, what you can do when you get there. You can also use the platform to communicate with other families. Hey, this is Jason's mom. Does anybody on here is Camille's mom or dad? Because we want to have a play date. So you can communicate with other parents. You can communicate with us in the office, and it's just a really great resource. Once you have kind of reviewed the platform and you kind of know when you're coming in, what you want to do, you'll meet with our concierge service for a free 30-minute consult, and we'll help you kind of answer any questions you might have, narrow down your travel options, and really start to devise what your experience is going to be. Once you have your things narrowed down, then you would book your flight, and you have 2 options. You can fly into San Jose, which is in the middle of the country, or you can fly into Liberia. If you are going to Arenal, Arenal lies equidistant to both airports, so it really doesn't matter. It's like choose the cheapest airport. If you are coming to camp in Tamarindo, Liberia is going to be your closest option at about an hour drive from Tamarindo. It is a 5 to 6 hour drive from San Jose. Why would folks want to fly into San Jose? Well, depending on where you're coming from, sometimes if you're coming from a smaller city, you may not have direct flights into Liberia. San Jose may be considerably cheaper. Or if you want to explore the rest of the country, San Jose is really the most central option. So if you're planning on coming down to the Southern Pacific or to the Atlantic coast, you're going to want to fly in and out of San Jose. Once your flights are booked, then we'll connect you with our on-the-ground destination management company, Eco Getaways, and they can help you find the right accommodations for your family. We have a handful of hotels that we have identified in each location that they can help you to book. Or if you would like something more custom or bespoke, they have an option for that as well. To give you some ideas of that, in Arenal, we're looking at Finca Luna Nueva Lodge. We're looking at the Chachagua Rainforest Hotel. And as you can see here, there are a slew of tours and activities that are optional that you can sign up for. In Tamarindo, we've got the Wyndham Tamarindo, the Didia Hotel, and the Westin Conchal, which is all inclusive and has been a very, very popular option with our families. But basically staying in Tamarindo proper or up in the kind of Conchal area. And there's also a slew of tourist activities that you can also opt into for that location. If you want a custom package or luxury home, oftentimes we have families that will share a home. They can help you with that. You can schedule a booking call for a $100 deposit, which will be credited to your final stay if that is what you so desire. They can also do payment plans for accommodations and offer transportation to and from the airport if needed. So what does the trip cost? Estimated travel cost Flights are going to range between $400 and $700 per person, and that really depends on where you're coming from, where you're flying into, how much flexibility you have with your dates. Cheapest, lowest side, we saw kind of in the last 2 years has been like 350. But average is going to be $500 or $600 per person. Your rental car is going to cost you between $500 and $700 a week. Do you need to rent a car? You do not need to rent a car. Um, if you go onto Orbitz and try to rent a car, it's going to tell you it's $100 or $200 for the week. That is not true. Costa Rica has a mandatory insurance requirement that charges $35 to $45 per day. Um, on top of the actual rental rate. So I can't tell you how many times I've been behind somebody getting yelled at in in the rental car line because they thought they rented a $200 car, and then their grand total comes up to $600 or $700. So just keep that in mind. If you choose not to rent a car, we would highly recommend that you stay at one of our preferred hotels on the list with Eco Getaway so that your children can have transportation to and from camp. It is not that accessible in the area without a car. An economy hotel or condo is going to cost you roughly 1,000 plus a week, $140 per night at the low end, and then, all the way up to the sublime for a nicer kind of home. And food and beverage is going to be pretty close to what we spend in the United States, which is $15 to $20 per meal. Remember that your children are eating at camp 2 meals out of the day. And so really it's just dinner, and then whatever you want to eat during the day. We do offer a $100 discount if you register before the end of the year. And as I mentioned, siblings and multi-week also offer an additional 5% off. So basically, estimated costs for a family of four is going to be about $1,200 per person. And then, you've got all these optional activities, which you can do or not do based on your preference. Horseback riding, zip lining, an adventure day that offers like a full package of all the different activities. And then there's tons of stuff to do around. We had a group schedule a sunset cruise on a catamaran for their private group. There's just a lot of opportunities to engage with fun stuff. And our our partner Eco Getaways can help you do that. So what do you get? Amazing, amazing memories. A lot of times we have people say, "Oh, I don't know, my kid's only 3 or my kid's only 4. They're not going to remember." They remember. And we have had families. We turned 10 years old in 2023, and we've had families that have traveled with us since 2013. Last summer, we even had a group of teenagers assisting at camp that were in the original crew that did the first trip with us back in 2013 as little kids, and they're now back as camp counselors. So you really do make amazing connections that are lifelong connections, get amazing stories of adventure, and an incredible travel tribe of friends for you and your kiddos. So I will open it up for Q&A if you have any questions.